Welcome to Fragmental.
An amusing take on random topics. So we are doing another back-to-back week.
Yeah, we're back. I like it, man.
What'd you
Like
say?
we're kind of getting back to it. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, shout out to Zencaster.
Yeah, it's good shit,
Make it
man.
easy on us.
Like, we need to tweet at them or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like, who are these two fucking monkeys?
Right? Like, you guys are number 900,000 out of our 900,005 podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, you cheap motherfuckers, you're on the free version, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you think this version's good? Stop being a cheap asshole and try this one.
Yeah, exactly. How about paying for some shit? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Pay for our services.
You know what would be great if you weren't using us for fucking nothing? You have goddamn
we can always
listeners.
we can also make the argument that we're also not making any money either, so it's a wash.
Right. We're negative. We're paying for shit. So
yeah, actually, you know what? Hey, fuck you, Zencaster. We're in the negative, and you guys are in the black. Well, I don't know if you're in the black, but you're making money.
Well, right. I'm sure they at least have advertisements and all that kind of shit, and then of course they have the pay version. So yeah, I'm sure they're doing okay. I mean, the quality's pretty good. So
yeah, no, absolutely. No, absolutely. So
it's not like they send us 2 soup cans. Here you go, fella.
Yeah, the upgraded version instead of string is wire. So.
Oh man, so what's going on, dude?
Nothing. I think we're gonna just kind of riff today on. We don't have a topic. We're just gonna kind of jump around on some headlines, and I got the web page up so we can kind of look. And the first thing that kind of caught my eye was Tom Brady asking $300,000 for his customized Cadillac Escalade, and it looks like a fucking station wagon.
It's an Escalade.
No
it's
joke.
Supposed to be like how do you, oh, Tom, with being such a good family man there, you may as well.
It is. That's the fucking long bed. It's it's 4 doors. It's all tinted out. It's $300,000 though. Give me a fucking break. It's an Escalade.
Right. I mean, like on the high end, that's a $60,000 to $80,000 car. Like what's so custom about it that it's $300,000?
It's a Becker ESV, so it's some customized shop. So Becker designed in Oxnard, California. It's touted as a mobile office, so it has a 32-inch LCD screen, a 12-inch rear screen, Savant controlled AV system, and stretch an additional 20 inches. The rear doors are extended by 10.
Okay, so I mean, I guess that's pretty custom. So I mean, you're doing a lot of fabrication work. I'm sure the sound system isn't just your factory 6x9s,
Yeah, exactly. So how many speakers got in it? 4. What? $300,000?
This baby has 4 batteries. That's how much power this bastard has.
Yeah, I don't know. $300,000 seems a lot. I don't know who's going to buy it. I mean,
plus,
unless it's bulletproof or something. Does
everything, like the stereo, when it comes on, does it show like the TB12 logo? Like, is it so custom that you're going to buy it? And be like, did you steal this from Tom Brady? Like, yeah. What's up with all the half Patriots, half Tampa Bay Buccaneers shit all over? Like,
well, he's selling it. Oh, that's funny. It says by previously owned by Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady. So they're already calling him the Tampa Bay. Well, he is. I mean, he's not with the Buccaneers.
I mean, he is. I mean, that's what he is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, to your point, you turn the fucking audio video on, and it's like the TB logo with Giselle like dripping, like hanging off of the T or something like that. You're like, seriously, dude, did you steal this from Tom Brady? It's okay if you did, but.
So this refrigerator right here, like, is this Giselle's panties in here? Like it $300,000. I mean,
did he clean this before he gave it to you? I'm just checking.
Oh my God, it's a bottle of, I don't know, steroids or whatever. Or yeah. The answer to Deflategate, he forgot to take it out. Like, oh, cell phone he said he destroyed. Son of a bitch.
I saw like, hey, there's a Super Bowl ring in here. He dropped one.
Oh man, these are the directions to those underground passages in Denver, like for the Illuminati. What?
Did you see? Because he did that match thing with Phil and Tiger. Did you watch that at all?
So I didn't. I was working on my brother's house. We were putting in the front door, but I heard he was awful in the beginning.
Oh, he was like pushing everything right. It was actually, but hey, kudos to the four of them because it was fucking raining. I mean, it was like raining, and they went ahead and did it. But I saw a meme or a tweet later, like this morning, I think I saw it or yesterday. It was like, if I wonder if he would have played better if he deflated the golf balls.
I mean, I love the premise of it though. Like, I don't know if you watched any of the like interviews. They were doing some Zoom calls beforehand, and like Peyton Manning was ripping on him. It was like, man, Peyton Manning just, you know, from the grassy knoll, Jesus. Like he was, I'm trying to think of what some of the jokes were. But yeah, man, he was, because at that point, I think he was saying Tom was out of a job. So I think because I think they agreed on this before he was the Tampa Bay quarterback. So he was making like unemployment jokes and stuff. It was like, man, Peyton Manning, where the hell did this come from?
They said, and they were warming up, and they all had like headsets in or like earpieces in so they could talk, during the whole thing. And they were hitting balls, and the announcer, one of the, I forgot who it was, but was like, "Hey, Peyton, who would you get to caddy?" And he goes, well, he made a shot at like Gronk. He goes, I could get Gronk, but he only listens to Tom, like play, take a year off, and then, hey, come join me in Tampa Bay, and he's back. And Tom turns around like, motherfucker, like look, like that's kind of, but he was like giving a shot at like about Gronk just being his lackey almost.
I mean, so what have I learned from this? Tiger actually golfed pretty well. So maybe he's, whenever they are fully back, maybe he's going to make a run at a couple tournaments. Peyton Manning, much better trash talker than I thought.
Oh, he's great.
But Tom Brady, I mean, he took it like a champ. Like, he didn't pout. He had a couple good zingers in there from from the highlights I've seen. It was like, man, and he was golfing shitty, which my understanding was that you could visibly tell he was pissed.
Oh yeah, there was like people were tweeting, like they were bringing up live tweets, and I think it was like Eli or somebody just said, "Was it Eli?" I forget. It was somebody famous. Was like, I'm sensing a Tom Brady golf club into the weed, like throwing his golf clubs into the weeds or something, like moment coming up or something.
And I've heard
fuck Brooks Koepka was like, hey, if you make par in the front, what'd you say?
No, go ahead.
I said, Brooks Koepka was like, hey, if you make par, he was playing so bad. Koepka's like, I'll give $100,000 to this charity or to the event if you can make par on the fucking front nine.
I think, and didn't Charles Barkley make a joke about something like that? Like, your money's safe.
Yeah. Oh, Barkley was just as bad. And then Justin Thomas was funny because he's out on he was like the road. He's he's a professional golfer, and he was one of the like one of the.
I was going to say, wasn't he like the field guy pretty much?
Yeah. Well, he's Barkley's giving him shit, and JT Justin Thomas turns around, like you can hear him just go, "I like to see your fat ass dunk a basketball nowadays." and fucking Barkley goes, "Hey Justin, this is the something time of the year." He goes, "I'm calling HR or what? I'm getting on the phone." And so Justin Thomas was like, "I'm sorry," or he apologized for it, but it was just so funny because I think it was just like that quick, you're sparring a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe shit, and he's like, "Let's see your fat ass dunk a basketball," and he's just like, and Barkley was kind of cracking up because I don't think he took it wrong, but he's just like, yeah, in this day and age, that's a little. I'm gonna have to call HR, or I'm gonna get a hold of HR on this.
Well, I think Barkley, I mean, he can joke just like one of the dudes. Like, I don't think, I mean, obviously the guy's got an ego because he's an all-time great, but I think Barkley, I mean, he could dish it out and take it. Like, if it's a good zinger, the dude will laugh.
Oh, we said. I mean, you and I are like that too. It's like you almost appreciate the words don't even matter at that point. It's like you appreciate the joke.
Oh yeah,
like the that years ago we had a I don't know if I told the story or not, but years ago it was a good friend of mine and another good friend of mine, and we used to just fucking rip on each other. Like, it was like people would be like cringing. It was so like hardcore. And we're playing golf, and he gets up, and his mother was had just come out of like hip surgery or something like that. She had her hip replaced, or something having to do with hip surgery. So we're in a foursome, and it's the three of us and another friend of ours who didn't really like. He knew we kind of busted at each other, but not to what degree we did it. Mm-hmm. So he gets up to the tee. He's all ready to hit the ball, and I said something about we were talking about his mom being having hip surgery during, like, as we were getting up to the tee or whatever. And just as he's about to tee off, I said, because she's widowed, but she had like a man friend that just I don't know if you call them they were dating or not. I don't even know if it was that. It was just, they were an older couple, so they just kind of did things together. You know what I mean? So
joining each other's company.
Absolutely. And just as he's about to tee off, I go, well, maybe if he'd maybe if I forgot what his name was. Maybe if so and so would lay off your mom, maybe her hips wouldn't be busted. And he fucking lost it laughing. My other buddy lost it laughing, and the fourth guy that was like, he looked completely uncomfortable that I said that about his mother. And the dude teeing off literally like dropped to his knees. He was laughing so hard. But it wasn't like the words. It was like this, like the thought process and the structure that went into that kind of burn. But that was kind of what was funny. That's what you kind of appreciate.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's, I think, and you and I, we're big comedy fans, right? So we appreciate the effort and the delivery. So, no, I'm right there with you, man. I mean, that's how, a lot of my buddies and I are too, just, if you didn't know, I should be like, man, those guys fucking hate each other,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why don't you like each other? Like, we're the best of friends. It doesn't sound like it. Well, get used to it.
You just said his mom's taking pipe, and that's why it broke her hip. Good God.
And she's a saint. I mean, she's literally like the nicest lady.
Right. She helped baptize me.
She winters in the Sudan helping refugees. What the fuck?
Oh man, that's awesome.
What was I gonna say? I had something there. I forgot what I was gonna say, but I was, as we were talking, I looked it up. There's a headline here called "Man Caught with Over 138 grand in cash at Logan Airport after missing his flight." Cash, 138 grand in cash.
Good God.
Yeah.
So, coke dealer?
Actually, I'm scrolling through the headline here to figure out what the fuck it was.
He was going to play a high stakes game of golf. I mean,
yeah, weird. Oddly, the police eventually learned the man was carrying 138,980, almost 139,000 in cash. 138,980.
Good God.
The TSA questioned his large quantity of cash, and he stated the amount was $1,500.
How much you got? $1,500.
This is great.
More than that $100 bills just from unzipping this. Like a little.
10 grand just fell on the floor in that little packet. As the passenger went through TSA checkpoint, he was questioned about the large quantity of U.S. currency he was carrying and stated the amount was $1,500. When Massachusetts State Police troopers from Troop F questioned the passenger subsequently, he claimed he was clearing 40 to 50,000 in cash. So now we're at so we go from 1,500 to 40 to 50 to 80 to 85 to eventually 138,980.
Good God. That sounds so above board.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, what the? I mean,
1,500.
You've got a duffel bag full of 100s. Yeah, it's like $1,500. There's only like 1,500 100s in there, or 15 100s. It's more than that. Fuck.
I can see easily 50 plus right here. No.
It's 1,500 $1 bills.
You're mistaken. It's just right. I just have a couple $100 bills on top. The rest is just some shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. they're Indian rupees, so they're worth nothing.
Right. I just threw a couple $100 bills on the top for when I can exchange it. But yeah, it's oh, that's awesome, man. Like,
yeah, I don't. Where would you get it? I mean, it never says where it came from, but I don't know.
It's clearly illegal, because if anything else, he would have found another way to get it to where he needed to go. So, unless he grew up in the Great Depression and he just carries his entire life on him, which I suppose is possible.
Yeah, but if you're going to do that, like if you're you're going to like strap it to your body,
right? I get the feeling he's not 102 years old. So
exactly. I went through the Great Depression, dude. You're 38. That's funny. I was Trump's press secretary. Jesus.
Oh God, fuck yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Kayleigh McEnany. McEnany. Wow.
McEnany. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. I mean, man, she's smoke show.
Oh my God. How do you pay attention?
Right. I mean, I think I mentioned this. Like, she's so hot when like the political commentators rip on her, I get pissed off. You better get mad for her, you son of a bitch.
And it's like completely against all of your beliefs, and you're like, "Hey, wait a fucking minute!"
Right? She's like, she's like, Hitler knew what he was doing, and I'm laying a jacket on the ground, like, "Hey, walk on this."
Like, did you think about building
Nope.
Hey, you back off. She just said they're building concentration camps in Iowa.
Right. Like,
wait, that was too long of a laugh for me. I was nervous there for a second because it was like quiet, and I'm like, is he laughing at that? Or
no, I just think it was a delay. No, I was laughing.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, she is smoking. I mean, I wonder how old she is. Like, I'm gonna guess mid-30s.
Oh, it's got to be mid to early 30s, I would guess.
Yeah, she's I'm a fan. I mean, all of a sudden, I care what press secretaries say. Like before, before they're like, Sarah Huckabee's on. I'm like, turn the fucking channel, whatever. Now she's on.
Exactly.
I'm yelling at my wife, like, what are you doing? Show respect. The press secretary's talking right now.
She's literally talking about nobody can have kids under 8. You're like, what?
She's talking about taking a kid away from anybody that has 2. It doesn't matter. Let her finish, would you?
Don't be hang a second. Respectful. Yeah, exactly. She's 32, born April 18th, 1988.
If there is I shouldn't say that. I was going to say, if there's a president that approved that one, are we surprised it was Trump? But then I'm like, you know what? If anyone would have done it, it would have been Bill Clinton.
Well, it would have been Trump as well too. Actually, it's funny. The weird thing about Trump is, have you seen those? I mean, it's probably taken out of context, but like those weird photos of him and like Ivanka, it's like it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's a big joke online. I mean, yeah, it is kind of weird, but I mean, look, personally, I think he's a turd with a lot of just the bullshit he says. It's like, man, dude, you just did a great thing and completely erased it by being a douche. But I don't think he's trying to bang his daughter.
He has a type.
She does fit the type.
She does fit the type. Yeah, absolutely. Like Ivana and who's after Ivana? What's her name after Ivana? The one he's with now?
I don't think so. I feel like there were like 2 or 3.
Oh, Marlon Maples was in there too. After Ivana.
Yeah.
Marlon Maples. And then I think there was another one and then his current one. But
I mean, I don't think anybody's surprised he has a hot press secretary. I mean, in his defense, I mean, the first 3 or 4 he had were not exactly a murderer's row of look. And it was Sean Spicer or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't. I mean, this was a pretty huge step up here. He's like, look, I got to get people to pay attention to this shit. Hey, Smoke Show, come here. And I'm sure
she graduated from Harvard Law, so she's. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not. I mean, we're going off of her looks, but from Wikipedia. She knows her shit. So,
I mean, you don't get to that role without, being well educated, being smart, well spoken, all those things. So, yeah. I mean, right. All joking aside, she knows her stuff. But
she
if
wrote
you're
a book,
no, go ahead.
No, she said she wrote a book, The New American Revolution.
Man, okay, and so well accomplished by the age of 32.
Yeah, no shit. Now I feel like a complete piece of shit because what have I done? I mowed my lawn today. Yay.
Right. You know what? I took out the trash.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I've wrote multiple books and 3 dissertations. I just gave an economic presentation to Saudi Arabia. What have you done? Not
that was on Twitter all day.
Right. Not those things, but thank you.
Exactly. I spent 2 hours looking at memes on Imgur, but other than that.
But if you don't mind, I'll hold the door open for you.
Pardon me while I let you through.
Guys, back up. After you, damn.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
Yeah, that could. Hey, Trump's doing whatever he can, man, to salvage some votes. It's been a rough few months.
Yeah, it's been. Oh my God, no shit. It's been a rough few months.
Yeah. And honestly, there's a big chunk of that I do not fault him for. I mean, he hasn't handled this the best, but there are some things that the dude's just catching fire where I don't think anybody would have. I'm not saying they would have done worse, but I'm not saying they would have done better on some of it either.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, I guess as far as like all the Corona stuff.
Yeah, I mean, some of it I think he's handled awfully, but I think some of it, especially in the beginning, it's like I think people kill him just because they hate it. And yeah, I mean, give the guy a little bit of slack, man. This is kind of unprecedented. So, I mean, again, he really quadrupled down on hydroxychloroquine and that kind of stuff, and he still refuses to reverse course, even though that I think we're now up to the 20th trial that failed.
Exactly.
And he's still staying the course, but I mean, he's actually done some things that I feel like he's just catching heat for because people shit on him.
Well, I mean, but that's the world today, man. It's just everybody's it's so partisan. I mean, it's like there's no middle ground anymore. There's like zero middle ground. You're either on or you're off. It's like it's not, and that's the problem. I think nobody's willing to sit down and kind of talk it out and figure things out. And what we talk, you and I have had this conversation about negotiations. It's like, I don't know who said it. Did you say this? Or somebody told me this. I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe it was you. I think it was you. About everybody should, if you do a negotiation, both parties should walk away just a little bit pissed.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, because that's right. If one's happy and another one's pissed, then one just got taken to the woodshed, right? If you're both happy, then that means you both pulled something over the other guy's head completely, So, but if you're both a little pissed off, that means you probably did what was right, and because you didn't get everything, so you didn't fleece the other guy for the most part, and the other guy obviously got something, or he never would have agreed to it. So to me, that's the art of a good negotiation: is you should both be at least a little pissed off. One guy may get, one person may win more than
everything they wanted.
Right. One person may get more than the other, but it's all right. And then you get to the horse trading factor where you're like, you know what? Yeah, those are a couple of big losses here. But the one thing I had to have happen was negotiating that out of the deal. And we don't have this anymore. So you know what? At the end of the day, I'm good. Sorry, I'll get off my Jewish soapbox.
No, you're fine. I love this one. I read this earlier today too. I read the headline, but Pablo Escobar's brother sues Apple for $2.6 billion over a FaceTime bug.
Did it cost him that much money in cocaine? I mean, what? That's all.
Oh, as reported by the Next Web, Roberto Escobar's company, Escobar Inc., is suing Apple for $2.6 billion. Escobar claims that he bought an iPhone 10 because he was told it was the, quote, the most secure phone on the market and would be subject to no vulnerabilities in the future. And as per Escobar, this turns out not to be the case. What was the FaceTime vulnerability? I don't remember. Escobar said he was the recipient of several unwanted FaceTime calls. He then received a life-threatening letter early in 2019.
Is that Apple's fault?
Well, it's kind of funny because Esbar claims that Apple is guilty of breach of contract, negligence, misrepresentation, and negligent infliction of emotional distress. He values these respectively at 100 million, 500 million, and 2 billion.
Man, I mean, you know what? Is that the kind of guy? I mean, I don't know if he's, way further down the, like just he doesn't have the stones that is, Pablo had. But I mean, I feel like that's not the guy you want to be getting sued by.
Marketing?
Like, what if we don't
Escobar or Apple?
Escobar. Like, well, if we don't settle, fairly confident one of us isn't going to be here. Yeah. One of you are most likely going to be cut up into bits and sent to the rest of us.
But I mean, it's not like it's one person though. Are you going to murder like all 100,000 employees of Apple?
No, he's going to pick one board member to send a message. But I mean, at the same time, it'd be like, I asked for 2.6 billion. Hey, I got 500,000. It worked out.
Yeah, that's funny. He actually, oh, sorry. I thought he was. I thought he said he had sued them previously. So,
at that point, you don't feel bad for him. You're like, you knew what you were getting into, dude. And then he says, "But AT&T sucks."
He's suing them because they couldn't get a signal and it's fucking in his safe house.
He's just trying to blame anybody he can at this point.
Oh god, yeah, I guess. I guess his brother has some kind of company, and this company is suing or something like that. It's comical. I mean, so are you gonna sue the fucking because you get a robocall? I mean, I guess you could sue the phone company.
That's what I was gonna say. I received 6 calls today telling me about my warranty on my car that is now 10 years old. So
I got those too.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I should be suing Apple. Fuck it.
Exactly. Okay, give it a shot. They got money. That's funny. I get those too. It's just like before your warranty runs out. I got a 10-year-old car with like 140,000 miles on it. That fucking warranty ran out years ago.
Exactly. My warranty ran out 5 years ago. So, I got that years ago. Before I had a decent job, and I was driving a car that it was like an '84 Cavalier, and I got one of those calls, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I drive an '84 Cavalier," and they're like, "Would you like to up your coverage?" And I'm like, "It's an '84 Cavalier, man."
Exactly. The car. I spend more in gas than the car is worth.
Right. We've spent more money talking about this than I could sell it for.
Sir, you drive a Nash Rambler. What?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. You texted me earlier today about you were listening to last week's podcast about the Tommy Lee and the Tommy Lee driving the Rambler. And I started laughing and my wife is like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Tommy Lee driving a Rambler." And she's like, and she's like, "I don't get it." And I had to like explain. I had to go all the way back to the fucking dick driving boat thing and I'm like, oh, God damn, this is too much work.
You're like, hold on, let me throw Apple TV, let me put this up on the screen, Pornhub.com. It's not what you think.
Don't do it on your work laptop.
Let me just go ahead real quick. Tommy Lee drives boat with dick. She's like, what?
He doesn't, by the way. He doesn't.
You're right.
He just honks the horn with it.
The horn.
We did some deep analysis on that one.
I don't know. I think in the uncut footage he did.
The uncut footage. There's that's a double entendre if I've ever heard it.
Well, I don't think he was cut, so I can't. Right, I can't make that joke, but that would be even better though if he wasn't. So then that would hold. That's what she said.
Oh, I had something. I had something there, but I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
About Tommy's.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. No. It was when I mentioned work laptop. So everybody's working from home, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, us and fucking 90% of the world at this point. I wonder what the IT departments are like. I mean, if they're fucking getting lit up with like inappropriate I mean, because they're tracking all that shit. Because most people, unless you're on your home computer, and most people have a work issued laptop or a work issued device or something.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder what it's like. Bing, bing, bing. I wonder how many people are getting fired for like fucking Pornhub and like inappropriate like websites and whatever.
They're trying to apply for unemployment, and the company's like, you were on running trains on chicks.com. That's a transportation website. I'm unaware of what you're talking about. Allow us to show Exhibit A.
Oh man.
You may also
remember
this from blacked.com.
Oh my god. Yeah, I would be wondering. I should ask my IT buddy.
Oh, yeah. I bet, especially like when that started becoming more prevalent. Yeah, I mean, now you got more people working from home, but that in the late 90s when laptops and internet were becoming a lot more prevalent, one of the first things a lot of people did was go straight to playboy.com, which back then that had to be the go-to, right?
What are you asking me for?
I mean, I'm just because you know more about IT than I do. I'm more about IT, not porn.
Yeah, nice recovery. Nice recovery. I love that. It had to.
Am I right,
Dave? Right? Is that? Where did you go back then? No.
I mean, I was on scourexchange.com, but Dave, where were you? Did you use Scour Exchange like early 2000s, late 90s?
No, what the fuck was that?
It was like the Napster for movies. So
no.
So I hadn't heard about it, and then like one of my first nights at college, my roommate, who we've talked about this, the guy was a connoisseur of porn. I remember we're sitting there, and like the movie Nutty Professor 2: The Clumps had just come out in theaters. And I came in, grabbed something from the room, and he's like, "Hey, Mike, check it out. Nutty Professor." And I'm like, "Wait, didn't that just come out like last week?" He's like, "Yep." Like, that's awesome. And I mean, back then, and we were on a T3 modem in school. So like you were downloading an entire movie in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I never got. I mean, I was on dial-up for the longest time. So I lived out in the sticks, man. That's all we had.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, so when I would come home from Syracuse, and try to download anything on dial-up, that would be like, that was 15 minutes for a damn song, let alone, I mean, I couldn't watch porn on it at that point. It'd be like, man, in 10 minutes, there's going to be a titty on the screen, you guys.
and then somebody's going to pick up the phone and drop the connection.
No.
She was just taking her shirt off. God damn it.
I mean, it almost reminds me of the days, where like you had the scrambled channels, but you could just sit there and be like, if you wait for the right moment, that's a titty. That's a titty.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that did.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, not at all.
The 90s.
Thousands of people that did that. Oh yeah, the 90s, the great 90s. What was I gonna say? We had years ago. We had a guy. Like he got like there was some inappropriate things or whatever, and or no. The guy, I know what it was. The guy had I think he was in sales or something, so he was out in the field, and he was having a problem with his computer or whatever. But I guess he shipped it in to the into IT for them to fix it. And when they were going through it, I don't know how to. This is kind of a gray. I don't know if it's gray or not, but he wasn't like they didn't have him like watching, like downloading porn or watching porn like through his laptop. He just had a porn DVD and he was just watching it on his laptop. So he left it in because back when the laptop still had like DVD drives and stuff, and he left it in the fucking laptop when he shipped it back to the IT department to get worked on.
So is that a terrible offense?
I don't remember what happened. I think they kind of just gave him a warning on it, but because it wasn't like he was just using as a DVD player. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was his own DVD or.
Look, I'm on the road, bro. I'm on the road. All right. Like if I want to blow off some steam, I don't want to pay $12 for the damn room porn. I'm using this.
Yeah, and it's not like, and that fucking, I don't know how it is today. I haven't watched motel porn or hotel porn in forever, but, um, I mean, shit's expensive, and it wasn't really that great. You know what I mean? So
Was it
I
like
guess if you bring your own,
like Skinamax porn? Like you're like, I paid $12. Like, dude, I'm not even seeing ropes blown anywhere. What is going on?
it was like a high end Skinamax.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I mean that's not $12 worth. I
Oh
mean,
God,
in a
no.
pinch, in a pinch, it'll get it done. But you got HBO for free anyway.
In a pinch, it'll get it done. It'll get it done in a pinch. Excuse me? That's too funny. Yeah, so I don't remember what happened to him, but it was just funny that he forgot his fucking DVD, his porn DVD.
Oh, can you imagine how embarrassing that would be?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's bad, and you can't fire the guy, or maybe they did. I don't remember, but the embarrassment alone, is almost as bad as being fired.
Right, just because that's, especially if they have to report that to your superior. So even if you kept him on, like, could you just see it at like an awards dinner and be like, up next we've got a guy who really, he's got a good up and down game, good long stroke, if you will.
Oh God! And up next, the guy who set the rules for personal use of your laptops, Kyle.
Because, I mean, especially like, could you imagine if they're like, God, my boss is Mike or Dave, just please fire me. Like, you don't get what I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my career. Oh no, we do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh God, yeah. That's why you're not getting fired, because you got to deal with us motherfuckers. I mean, you either quit on your own or find another fucking job. But, yeah, because with these two monkeys as your fucking bosses, they're never gonna let you down. Let it down.
So
that's too.
The other day, I heard online that there's this movie, Edward Penis Hands. Kyle, are you familiar with this?
Oh yeah, that's funny. So Kyle, tell us about the latest DVD selections that you take on your road trips.
So, can you confirm or deny if you buy a box of condoms, are the DVDs free?
And when you buy the DVD, the condoms come with it.
Is Lubriderm included? Just got to know for a friend.
Lubriderm? That's like good hands. That's like good, like Lubriderm. That's like good moisturizing cream for your hands and shit.
Oh,
you're gonna waste that?
It moisturizes much more than your hands, Dave.
I don't know.
Hey, when you're on the road, sometimes you just gotta enjoy the comforts of home. So,
dude, when you're on the road, the fucking world's your oyster. I mean, you can walk in anywhere. Nobody fucking knows you. You're leaving town. So it's fucking lion's den for all.
Nobody knows me here. You got any good water-based lube?
Exactly. What do they get? They may see you in a month when you come back to visit.
Right. You're walking by outside. They're like, "Hey, got a fresh stock, bro. Come on in."
Dude, how often are you down here?
What do you sell? Good God.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. So
I'm the sales manager for Lubriderm. Oh, that's too fucking funny. Yeah, being on the road.
Me. But anyway,
those were the days.
So what else we got? Any other good headlines?
I was just kind of scrolling. I was just scrolling through here. There was something that caught my eye a second ago, and I forgot what it was, or I drove past it. Oh, did you see there was this 12-year-old boy's followed down the mountain by a brown bear?
Oh my God! And how calm the kid is.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Like it was in northern Italy when they noticed the bear, which rose onto its hind legs at several points. So they were close to wherever. That could have been a mess.
Man, I was so nervous for that kid, I peed myself. And my God.
You really?
No, not really. But I mean, when I
Yeah,
saw
no, it's. I mean,
go ahead.
no, he's. I mean, I'm looking. I not. There's a video, but I'm not gonna play the video. But I mean, that fucking bear's within to like the angle I'm looking at. It's got to be 50 feet,
It was close. Did you
maybe.
see the? Have you watched the video yet?
I haven't watched the whole thing yet. No.
I mean, it seriously. It was close enough. I mean, and the kid looked back a couple of times. So you're just sitting there like, it was an intense moment, man. Like, no lie. Like, maybe it's because I have a dozen kids, but like my heart rate was picking up for him. Like, oh man, like part of you is just like, run, dude, run. But I know that's like, he actually handled it really well. Like, that kid is going to be a sniper or like,
Or assassin.
yeah, he's going to be an assassin or a spy, because to be able to stay that cool under pressure at 12, that kid's, I mean, he's a psychopath.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, holy fuck. Does he just walk away, or the brown bear go away? I haven't seen the whole thing, so
It
you can
cuts off.
spoil it for me.
It cuts off before
Oh.
you see. But I mean, the kid, he's getting closer to his dad. The kid handled it really well. The bear, he would stand up and kind of just watch him. Then he'd walk behind him. Went through some bushes. Like, it's terrifying, honestly. Like, I could not imagine if I just saw a bear like 100 yards from me, I would freak the hell out. So growing up in the sticks,
Yeah, I
man,
mean,
in New York, like, did you ever see any bear out there, up in the Adirondacks or anything like that?
I mean, we spent we went fishing for a weekend up in the Adirondacks, but it was kind of cool because we had there was an island inside of a lake, and the guy that owned this island, and when I say island, it was literally, oh God, probably, it wasn't very big. I mean, maybe that, probably the width of maybe half of a football field, maybe less, and nowhere, and maybe it's wide. So it was. I mean, think of like the one end of the football field. That's how big the island was on this
Okay.
lake, and the dude on a seaplane. So he flew us in, and we landed on this lake in the Adirondacks, and there was a boat there, and the funny thing about that was we cut the tree down because they didn't give us a key to get the boat off because it was locked. So we cut the tree down, and then we told him that, and he's like, "You're not allowed to cut trees down in the Adirondacks." I'm like, "Sorry, dude."
Well, you didn't give us
Too
the key.
fucking late.
What else was I supposed to?
Yeah. Suck a dick. And we got stranded. Actually, we got stranded because the fog rolled in and he couldn't pick us up on time. So we ended up spending like an extra day and a half there. But we never really got to a point to see. I've never seen a bear. I've never seen a bear live, like in the Adirondacks or anything like that. Even in all my travels, I don't think I've ever seen one live.
Yeah, I haven't either. Like, outside of a zoo, I've never seen one.
I'm trying to think. I mean, like the big thing. I mean, where I grew up was like coyotes and shit like that. So, and for a while they called them coy dogs, because what they would do is, like, when regular dogs were in heat, the coyotes would breed with them, and you had this like hybrid dog coyote. So if coyotes aren't that big, but then you breed with like a lab or something, now you've got like a bigger coyote. So I was asking my cousin the other day because you had coy dog issues, they call them coy dogs, and
Yeah.
and I asked him how that was going, and he says essentially they've bred themselves back into coyotes again. So it just kind of it must have been it was like a fad. Hey, I'm gonna go over and fuck that dog. I was like, what? Why would you do that?
That dog's like 6 feet tall. Look at the hog on that thing. I'm getting pregnant by that bitch.
Yeah, no kidding. It's the big black guy of the fucking coyote
world. Oh man, it's just the big black Great Dane. He's like, look at him.
Yeah, look, it's a Rottweiler.
Look at those balls, man. That thing. He's getting you pregnant, guaranteed. That's fun.
Deer I've seen out the ass, but there's a shit ton of deer in upstate New York. I had one run into the side of my car. Like, literally, I was driving and he would just ran into the side,
do some damage.
Not like I didn't hit it or anything. Yeah, fucking cave the door in.
I shouldn't laugh.
I hit a small one once, and it was in winter, and there was like a coating of snow on the ground. And after I hit it, I let off the gas, and I was still doing like 45 or 50 miles an hour, and it was sliding down the road at the same speed I was going. So there's some physics for you right there.
Did it survive? I mean, or did it kind of
no
die kind of thing?
It was. I mean, it was probably instant when it was done.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very big. But fuck my car up.
Oh man, those things will tear it up. I know. You know why? Just talking about that reminds me of. I have no idea why. Just being out in the sticks, there's a GIF I saw where like this sheep is up on the top of a hill and it looks like it's stuck into the fence, and like the person like helps the sheep get out and then it tumbles down the damn hill.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's fucking great. Like, hey,
the
thanks, asshole.
I was holding on, bitch. Right? It's like I was holding on, bitch.
I'd be pretty comfortable. You didn't see it at the end, but I would be pretty confident to think that fucker walked away from that thing too. So I'm sure it happens all the time.
No, it happens all the time.
Well, I mean, you're sheep. I mean, you're up on you're in these fucking cliffs and mountains and whatever and wherever. I mean,
when he stops rolling, you're just like, that fucking asshole.
He shakes it off like, son of a bitch. It took me 3 days to get up there.
Oh man, probably one of the. I mean, again, I'm pretty newer to the social media thing. That's one of the better GIFs I've seen.
Yeah, it is. It's like, motherfucker. Hey, I was scrolling through here. I sent you that picture of Tyson when he's 42 and Tyson when he's 53?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, does he look ripped?
He looks great. I mean, especially because I know at that, like 10 years ago or so, that he was having a really hard time. That's when he started doing his one-man show. After that, he lost a little bit of weight. And I mean, I'm a huge Tyson fan. I don't know if you are, but
about indifferent. So
yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this before because he was from Brooklyn. You know, like 6-year-old me thought him and I had a lot in common. You know, even though, right, like his life in Brooklyn was very different from mine, and you know, he obviously had a rough go, but you know, I was still at that age. I drew that connection, so I was a huge Tyson fan. But I love. Have you seen not only the picture? Have you seen the videos of him like boxing right now?
Oh, he's still fucking amazingly fast.
He
like
right, exactly. Fast. Like I'm not saying he's going 10 rounds right now, but if you just lined him up for 5 minutes, outside of like Tyson Fury and some of those guys, I think Tyson still stands a chance because he's so quick. He's still very powerful. Like I don't want to see him fight because of his last 2 fights. Like, you know, you could tell he hung on for too long. But then at the same time, if he fights again, there's not a chance in hell I'm missing it.
Oh, that would be a massive, massive pay-per-view. We're talking like billions of dollars, I think, at that point.
I mean, just imagine, right? Obviously, he's training. And so let's say they lined up a 3-round exhibition with somebody. I mean, and in the age of Corona. So let's say it's September and college football doesn't happen. I know that's a debate right now. You know, and that's still the only game in town. I mean, my God, everybody's buying that.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, I mean, you charge your $99, which I'll bitch about it and probably try to invite some people over so I can appease the Jewish side of me and, you know, meet the price down a little. If you guys just each put in $10, I'll buy all the pizza and beer. But yeah, I mean, and
then you walk away making like 40. You're like, this has worked out well.
That's what they're all going to say on the way out. Like, you made money on this, didn't you? I'd appreciate it if you stay out of my personal affairs, but thank you.
Exactly. I don't discuss personal finances with my friends.
But yeah, man, he looked, and maybe it's just a nostalgia thing, and I wanted to, you know, want to see him just do well. But man, he looks great.
Yeah, no, he looked good. Fantastic shape. I mean, just fantastic. Yeah, absolutely good for him. There was the match thing that was on Sunday with Tiger and everybody. It says how much is the membership at the Medalist where they were playing.
Mm.
It's $110,000 for a membership, and then member dues are $18,000 a year.
My God! So is the membership, is that an annual or the $110,000?
No, that's
a lifetime membership, but then you have your yearly dues. Is that?
Yeah. Yep. So the initiation fee for membership at Medalist Golf Club is $110,000. The website says the member dues are $18,000. but there's a fucking like waiting list to get in there. So
maybe the guy that got busted at the airport was just going to golf.
Yeah, he was going to 110 grand, and then what do you have? 139,000, so it's 18.
Yeah,
so it's 2 years of dues and $110,000. Can you imagine like you pay 110 grand, like $128,000 for the first year, essentially, and then you're like, you're moving. You're like, do you pay that? I mean, you're like, are you out the 110 grand? I mean, you're out. It's an initiation fee, so no matter what happens, you're out 110 grand.
But since if you paid the 110 grand, if you're ever in the area, can you just like do a jump in round for like $1,000?
Like, it's funny because the quote from the dude that like runs it said, getting members to enjoy the club, coming out and use it on a daily basis. We have no financial issues whatsoever. We have money to invest in the club, money to run the club, and we're fortunate in that way. You're charging $110,000 a person to walk through the fucking door,
right?
Plus 18 grand a year. I don't know how many members there are though. So, say argumentatively, say there's 100 members. That's what, $1.8 million a year, and just dues.
Yeah, and $100 million you've collected as
over
just
the
their
whatever. Yeah.
And I mean,
initiation fee.
That $100 million alone is enough to sustain that golf course for 2 lifetimes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, if they're going to take care of it the way they take care of it, it's fucking expensive.
Oh, sure.
God damn. I wonder what. I mean, you got all the. I mean, you got to pay people too. So there's some expenses there.
I almost just want to know what goes on there. Like, you know what I mean? Like the food's got to be phenomenal.
It fucking better be phenomenal for 18 fucking grand a year.
Is this? Are you serious? Fucking Hebrew National? Are you kidding me?
Wait a minute. This is like fucking Wonder White Bread peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. What the fuck is this?
This hot dog better be a filet mignon hot dog.
Oh, this ought to be good. Peyton Manning's net worth, career salary from NFL contracts and endorsements.
I'm gonna guess.
Take a guess.
$154.8 million.
Oh God, double that.
Damn.
They estimate $248,732,000.
Damn.
Career earnings.
And not just that. Like,
there's a second.
When you make that much money, like you make millions in the interest on your investments.
Yeah, I mean he's the second highest league player in history. Guess who's number one?
Highest paid player in history.
Yeah, as far as NFL contracts and all that kind of stuff. He's at 248,732. So he's at 248,732,000. And there's one person that made more than he did.
He's a football player. So okay, so that's not just their football salary; it's also the endorsements.
Let's see. Career earnings around $400 million between his NFL contracts and endorsement deals. Manning was one of the biggest mainstream sports stars in the States. Starting with Manning's NFL contracts, they estimate the NFL contracts were $248 million.
Was it Elon?
Total over his career. Yeah, it was $252 million.
Damn.
So the Manning brothers alone are
$500 million.
$500 million in contracts.
Yeah,
that's just contracts.
Right. That's not endorsements and investments. And good God, good for them.
Yeah, $46 million. His rookie contract for the Colts was $46.3 million over 6 years, including $11 million signing bonus.
I mean, it would have to be, newer players because back, right, the guys from the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, like those guys were, I mean, I can remember if you had a 3-year, $10 million contract, you were loaded, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's back before cameras and shit. So there was hookers and blow like weekends at a time.
Oh, yeah.
This dude, according to the contracts and endorsement deals, $400 fucking million. God. Jesus Christ. And I was wondering where Barkley and those motherfuckers are like, I'll throw $100,000 at it. I'm like, dude, do you still have $100,000? But he does. I mean, they got a whole fucking.
I bet Barkley, because I mean the dude's entertaining as hell. I bet he makes $1 million on his TNT gig, and then
I bet you he makes more than that.
Well, that's what I mean. But the point is, the dude's making north of 7 figures, and I mean these guys are still. I mean, think about that. Just an appearance fee I bet he gets 50 to 100 grand to show up and give a 10-minute speech, at a company trade show.
Yeah,
I mean, think about
he's
that.
definitely not giving golf lessons.
Right. So, I mean, these guys, and again, they've just made, I mean, they were making millions of dollars when $40,000 was a good salary. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, it's still relative. So as the dollar went up, they had money in the bank. So they were still buying investments. And they all seem like, I don't know, they all seem like the biggest of the big seemed smart with their money. Jordan, Barkley, those guys seem like they knew what they were doing. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I get. Well, I mean, maybe they were smarter. They had the right people around them to make sure that they kept their shit. Jordan's smart in general. I mean, but a lot of the guys learned like this is what I'm not going to do, right? I mean, so they had all of that.
Well, a guy like Jordan, he has. So Last Dance, that's been huge. Did you watch?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't seen it. Nope, I haven't seen it.
So I don't want to give anything away. But they won some championships.
I've heard that.
But he has such a chip on his shoulder. Like I don't think Jordan would have allowed those hangers on. Like he wasn't doing the entourage thing. He had people, like I think he was so selective on who was in his inner circle. And I also don't think he was just throwing every dollar he could at those guys. I mean, I'm sure they all did well. They ate well and everything else. But like that dude was so driven and so smart about, I mean, yes, he gambled and things like that. But I think one of the things he says is like, look, my gambling habit wasn't a problem. It was a hobby.
Jesus Christ. That's an expensive fucking hobby.
Well, yeah, because they were, they're playing $10, $20, $100,000 poker games.
Ugh.
I mean,
I don't even know what to, it's.
I mean, Jordan's a billionaire now. I mean, he has his own vision of Nike for Pete's sake. I mean,
I mean, shit. When I saw the jump man on a fire suit in NASCAR, I'm like, holy fuck, they've gotten big.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so. All right, dude. We're at just coming up on an hour here, so this is fun. Just kind of riffing on different things here as I scroll through the news. So
no, it's good. Man. Always good to get at it.
Absolutely. So, well, thanks. Reach out to us on Twitter at Fragment. Is it Fragmental Co? At Fragmental Co.
Fragmental
is the Twitter handle.
We're up to 97. Go ahead and put us over the top with the 100.
Yeah, we need 3 more people. 3 middle-aged Ohio mothers. That would be great. I'm joking. Watch after now we'll find out how many people of our Twitter followers listen because all of a sudden we're down to like 50.
Right then,
God, motherfucker.
But then are we mad or are we like, hey, they listen? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. How do you take that? I forgot to add in that they're Browns and Ohio State Buckeye fans.
Oh yeah.
It's hard not to find a Buckeyes fan in Ohio.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially growing up, Michigan was really good, so there were a lot of Michigan fans here. But I mean, shit, it's been 16 years since Michigan was good. I mean, that's dwindled away big time. So, I mean, it's pretty much yeah. Ohio State. I mean, honestly, Ohio State's got to be one of the 5 largest businesses in the state. No joke.
Oh, easy. I mean, easy. So, all right, Mike. Thanks again.
Thanks, Dave.